another gorgeous day here. I'm so grateful for all of you being here. I particularly want to acknowledge our presenting sponsor, Gene DeFutis. Gene, thank you for all of your support over many years for this tournament. And I also want to recognize two ladies who are standing over here, Beth Casavant, our tournament director, and Melissa Pride-Foz, who does all the auction and raffle and photos and everything else. So thank you, ladies. We're looking forward to seeing you out on the golf course today. We'll be down at the barbecue luncheon, and as usual, we want to take a picture of all the foursomes. So if you see us coming up to you, please don't run away. We won't take too much time. I also want to thank two gentlemen over here, Ronnie and Tom, who are doing our swindle hole. I think this is Ron's 75th anniversary of doing the swindle hole in Central Massachusetts, and he is one of the things that makes this tournament so special. So Ronnie, thank you for being here this morning with us, and for Tom for being with him. Again, have a great day, guys, out there. I'm not going to listen to any excuses about how you did based on the eclipse. So please factor that into your play today and have a great time. Welcome to Conversations with Hannah. Today we are at the Haven Country Club in Boylston, Massachusetts for the 3rd annual Hannah Kane Charity Classic. I'm joined by some lovely ladies this morning, Elaine LeBlanc from St. Anne's Human Services, Beth Casavant, who's our tournament director, Melissa Pride-Foz, who does all of our auction and raffle and everything else that Beth doesn't do, and Doc Green from the Westboro Food Pantry. And Melissa is also a board member with me at Shrewsbury Youth and Family Services. So we wanted to talk today a little bit about the tournament itself, sort of the setup here, what we have going on behind us with 144 individuals, and then really talk about why we do the tournament, which is for the sake of the 3 charities. So Beth, you want to give us a little bit of an overview about what's going on out here today behind us?
Sure. We are at the Haven Country Club in Boylston, Massachusetts, and behind me you can see some of the golf in action. We had a shotgun start this morning, and our golfers are very busy out there swinging away. And we have a couple of really nice contests out on the course. We have a hole-in-one on the 3rd hole. It's by Wagner Motors, so there's an opportunity to win a car. I think today it's a little Audi SUV vehicle. We have a longest drive hole. We have a closest to the pin. So some opportunities for people to show off their golf skills. And it's just a fun day with a barbecue lunch on the course, and people are having a good time. Beautiful weather again.
We've been lucky. This is the 6th year that we've had it here at the Haven. The tournament was, of course, started by Karen Polito when she was state representative. They ran it for 10 years, and then Matt Beaton, when he was state representative, took it over and expanded it to go from Westboro Food Pantry and Shrewsbury Youth and Family Services to add in St. Anne's Human Services. And this is our 6th year doing it here. I was fortunate enough to take it over from Matt, and Beth took over from me as tournament director. And you know, this is truly a special day because not only have we lucked out for 6 years now and had beautiful weather here, but the reason that we're here is really important, and it's to raise funds for 3 charities. We have an extraordinary number of sponsors who have stepped up. The Gene J. DeFutis Family Foundation, once again, is our presenting sponsor.
A lot of returning sponsors.
Yeah, extremely grateful to him for his generosity. We had a lot of sponsors who have stepped up this year, moved up another level because they feel so committed to these causes. And then we also raised money through the auction and raffle. And I don't know, Melissa, if you want to talk a little bit about what we have.
Sure. We have some pretty fabulous things. We have over 100 items this year between the silent auction and the raffle. The community's once again been really generous in donating everything from, we had one of the fun things that the golfers really like is that we have a custom created cornhole game that Shrewsbury officer Dave Fosher, he creates these kind of amazing one-of-a-kind designs, and so that's a really fun thing for people to bid on. A Pat's tickets a package with the tailgate party, lots of sporting tickets, Sox tickets, different kinds of men and women's sunglasses. We really have a huge variety, lots and lots of restaurants, gift cards. The community is just really generous in giving, as much as they possibly can for these 3 great charities.
And I think it's because, people see these 3 charities in Shrewsbury and Westboro doing so much work.
So much.
As we said, Westboro Food Pantry in Westboro has been a part of this tournament since it began, one of the beneficiaries of it.
Yes.
And one of the things that's been terrific is as the tournament has progressed year over year, we've been able to give more and more money to each of the charities. And that's something that we feel really committed to and proud of. And so last year we donated $17,000 to each of the 3 charities. And Dot, why don't you tell us a little bit about what Westboro Food Pantry does with some of the proceeds and what the focus of your efforts are as a board member?
Well, as you said, we need help. Every single charity needs assistance. And what you provide for us is tremendous. We started in 1986 serving 15 families.
Wow.
Now we're over 130 who need our services. On Tuesdays, we have senior citizens only. On Thursday morning and evening, everyone else who's qualified can come. And they look forward to the things that they know they're going to be able to get because of you and your charity. One of the things they really look forward to, Thanksgiving and Christmas, in addition to everything else they have from which to choose in the pantry, they can circle what they want for their Thanksgiving dinner or their Christmas dinner. Choose a turkey or a ham and all of the accompaniments, and they really look forward to that. So they not only get their regular choices, but they get complete Thanksgiving dinner and a Christmas dinner. However, the one thing they keep saying all year long is, are we going to get our farm stand coupons? This is what you provide for us. That's number 1,000. These coupons are worth $10, so we have spent $10,000 to get these coupons. They get one a week, and some of them, instead of going to one of those 3 stands each week, they save up their coupons and go out and get the fruits and vegetables enough for a nice big cookout.
That's one of the things I really love about what you guys do with the money that we raise here, because supporting farms and farmers is extremely important to me, but also the opportunity for families to have fresh food that comes off the farms. And you know, that's not something that every family is able to do every day, and so I'm really grateful that the work that you do provides that to them. And you guys are an all volunteer group as well. You
completely volunteer, from our president and his wife on down to those of us. We have over 60 volunteers.
And it's really remarkable. We attend your board meetings probably twice a year and check in with you and let you know what we're up to and hear what you guys are up to. And I'm just always amazed at what a great turnout that you have at those board meetings and what you talk about. And we're really grateful for all the work that you do for so many families in Westboro.
And the gratefulness is returned in kind, believe me. They are so thankful. Not only the organization itself, but the people that come in. Like, some leave in tears. I get more hugs and thank yous than I've ever expected.
And I think, you know, there's a common misconception at times that Shrewsbury and Westboro are well-off communities, and you know, we don't have families in need, and yet we really do, and we see that, and you see that every day over at St. Anne's Human Services and the work that you do.
Absolutely.
Tell us a little bit about what St. Anne's has been up to.
Well, with your generous donation, and I say very generous, we were able to implement several new programs. We put a pod in the back of our parking lot, and we had somebody come in, and it's there now all the time, and we store things in there, which we lack storage. That's one of our big problems, and I'm sure you have the same problem, because we've been very fortunate in receiving new furniture, which is their samples from various manufacturers that we receive because we're a 501c. And by virtue of having the pod for storage, when we have families that need something, for example, beds, bureaus, which somebody is always needing, sofas, any of those things, we have a place to put them now. And then when somebody needs one, we have it available. So that was a real plus of something that we put the money to. The other thing is, we, like you, feel that the children especially, all of them need the fresh fruits and vegetables. So we now do that 4 times a week. They get their fresh fruits and vegetables, they'll get meat, they'll get cheese, they'll get milk. It'll vary. And it's amazing the number of people. We'll get an average between 30 and 40 families every time we have that. So that's 4 times a week. Plus the regular distribution, which is today, where they all can come in. They have choices of coming in the morning or the afternoon. And I stayed there a little bit longer than I probably should have, than I rushed. But when I saw the massive amounts of fresh corn out there, and fresh tomatoes and cucumbers, and all of the girls were packaging the meat, they all get, you know, very, very large amounts of meat, which of course they need the protein, chicken. It's great to see that. One of our biggest problems was taken care of by somebody who heard us last year on this program, and we have a large expense of trucking. We used to have a free truck, but we don't have that anymore. It died. So now we have to rent one, and that gets very costly. And so our benefactors come along and they're paying for our trucks for the whole year, which was just
That's
a
wonderful.
miraculous thing, really. One of the things that we have by virtue of our location is the motels. And you get a lot of people that go in there on a temporary basis, and probably it's the least effective thing we do, but yet it's necessary. I mean, you're putting a Band-Aid on something that requires major surgery, and they're in there anywhere from a week to 10 days. They're placed there by various agencies from many, many reasons they're put there. And it's really hard. You can't provide them with the food that they can cook with. They don't have any cooking, and they have no refrigeration. So it's kind of like on a daily basis that you're handing out gift cards to go to cappuccinos and go to, I don't consider that I mean, it's good food, but it's not what I'd call something that you'd want to have every day.
Sure.
They do come over and pick up the fresh vegetables, the fruits that they can eat raw, which is excellent. And then we have a big expense with diapers. Invariably, the families in there, they seem to come, and there's always a little baby, because the babies need diapers. So that becomes an expense, and some with formula, but we very quickly hook them up with WIC, which is a fantastic program. I think all in all, you see the delight in them, the happiness in them, when they see all the goodies they get, and the little kids will come in, and we have birthday bags. So whoever has a child, they had a birthday that month, they get a birthday bag with all the fixings in it for mom to make a cake and candles, and that's really neat. And then once a year we have a underwear drive, and we provide underwear. The parents can pick out their underwear and their shirts and their socks, and that goes over really big. We try to once a year have toothpaste and toothbrush, but when you start with the amount of people we have come in, which is close to be 500 people in a month or more, it can get very costly, and that's where your generous donations make that possible. The things that people can receive on food stamps exclude anything of a personal hygiene type thing, paper goods, as you well know, and interesting enough, even like laundry soap, and we're anticipating doing something about that near the holidays to try to get laundry soap into each of these families. Not that it's going to solve it for the whole year, but it's going to help.
Yeah.
And things that you don't think about, that when you go to the grocery store and you pick up your dish soap and your laundry soap and your Arid and all these things, and they add up. And if you're really kind of on food stamps and a very limited budget, it doesn't go very far.
Doesn't. I'm always amazed every time I stop in. There is such a whirlwind of activity
Oh, it's
going
busy.
on, and you're doing about 14 things at once, and talking to, and on the phone, and writing something down, and doing. And Joanne Keegan, who also does a wonderful job over at this.
Oh, she's in charge of our
Yes.
food pantry, and due to a death in the family, she's
Yeah.
not here today, but she does a fantastic job.
does.
And she knows every one of the girls that work on the food committee. They know all these people individually. I mean, they come in and they love being greeted by name, and how is the baby doing? They'll name the baby, or I mean, it's like you're bringing your family in there, and you're helping them. So it's we get so much pleasure out of it. I mean, it's kind of not fair that we have so much fun doing it, but it's great.
Your efforts are extremely generous. The time that you devote to this work, and again, that is what I feel when I go in there is joy in what you're doing. And I think that the people who come in there who are at a point in their life where they're struggling and things are not easy, and they come forward and they approach any of you in the food pantries, and they don't feel that they are a burden. They feel like you're happy to see them and happy to help, and that's a huge thing for somebody who's in a time of crisis.
Several of the things you mentioned are true throughout our districts.
Of course.
They all, on a given day, if they come into the back room where I'm working after they've done their primary shopping, they come in and they'll see rolls of paper towels. Are we getting paper towels today, or toilet paper, or laundry detergent? Of course I want that. Of course I want that.
Yeah.
And it's something that's expensive, and everybody needs it. And they just love seeing those little extra things, but we buy them and we
Costs a
can't
lot of
buy
money.
them
Adds up.
It does.
that bad.
You know, and also in our community, again, I think a lot of times people are unfamiliar with the fact that, especially mental health and counseling, mental health is an extremely important part of a healthy community. And so at Shrewsbury Youth and Family Services, we focus a lot on that. And you and I are on the board there. And actually there's quite a few of our fellow board members out there
playing today,
golfing today.
Yeah.
Why don't you talk a little bit about what we focus on at SYFS?
Sure. So Shrewsbury Youth and Family Services, I think what most people know it for is counseling services, individual counseling, family counseling. But I think there are a lot of components to SYFS that people don't necessarily associate with the organization. That mental health training, which has become a really important focus, and SYFS is in the middle schools with self-esteem and growth and education programs like You Go Girl and We Go Guy, and so there are a lot of programs that the whole community benefits from that aren't necessarily strictly counseling services, and it's a pretty diverse range of services that are offered, but it's been kind of an exciting year for SYFS. It's really grown in the number of families that they've served.
And I think, again, a couple years ago we started the campaign I Am SYFS because we wanted everyone in Shrewsbury to understand that SYFS is there for all of us.
Right.
And it's something that, we may all experience the need for help at some point while we're living in this community, and they're there. And certainly they work very closely with the town and do a lot of work down at the Shrewsbury Housing Authority down there doing some of the work. And so there's a very close partnership on that end.
There's a lot of focus this year on taking away the stigma of mental health.
Yes.
And I think that's been the I Am SYFS is sort of encompassing the idea that there is a stigma around getting mental health services, and at some point everyone experiences something in their life that they may need some help with, like you just mentioned, and taking away that stigma of reaching out for help, that it's not a certain type of person or a certain type of family that might need services, whether it's self-esteem services or education and outreach for how to help in an opioid problem or depression or going through a divorce. There's a lot of different facets that people might need help with in their life, and they're there for that.
It's also a great training ground. We have interns that come from a lot of the graduate programs
Local
around
colleges.
who are working on getting their degrees, and they're able to come in and have internships and help. So. And we also have SOAR, Shrewsbury Oil Assistance Relief Fund, which is run out of SYFS, and that is something that we work very closely with our partners in public safety, the police and fire, to help identify if there's a family that's struggling and can't afford to pay for an oil delivery. We partner, we pay for an oil delivery as needed with some of our partner groups around here. And again, one of our sponsors, Al's Oil, has been a huge part of that over the years. So.
I think that's a cool part of this too, is that I think our services, our responders in fire and police in Shrewsbury are really involved in the community. I mean, in other places I've lived, they haven't been as involved in charities, and
we have a number of firefighters and policemen, and we have the Westboro Chief of Police out here.
Yeah, they're really
today.
involved.
So it's a great partnership.
And I just want to say Dot was huge on the auction too.
Yes.
She came all day yesterday to help set up, and that she's not just representing one thing, she's representing the auction as well. So
and we
couldn't have done it without you.
And she's going to be out there monitoring the hole-in-one contest in a couple of hours
I
also.
love it.
She's here for the day.
She's very fastidious, and I like that.
The hole-in-one contest during the eclipse.
There you go. Yeah.
Good times.
There's going to be a lot of pressure on you.
Keep your eye on the hole, not on the side.
Don't look at the side. Yeah.
We also, Melissa, in your role as being a board member, you're also chairing the gala for SYFS this coming year, which is another big fundraiser. So, I think we all feel pretty passionate about the work that the three agencies do and really enjoy doing whatever we can. This is obviously a great day, and I don't know if you can pick up at all, but there's a lot of fun laughter going on behind us and camaraderie out there, and that's what this day is meant to be. It's really meant to be a fun day out on the course, but no one would be out there if they didn't feel as committed to the work that you do in the charities as well. So we're extremely grateful to have such strong support from the community that we do. And as I said, this is the 16th year of this charity golf tournament. 10 under Karen Polito, 3 under Matt, and now 3 under me. And I am just so honored to have the opportunity to work on this, and particularly to work on this with people that I adore and respect and think so highly of, especially these ladies sitting around the table here. We have a great host committee that does a
certainly
ton
do.
of work. We have great volunteers that come forward. We actually always end up, I think, having more volunteers
Yes,
than we know where
we
to
absolutely
place.
do. I turn people away. I say, you know, I don't want to take your time and you're not going to feel productive, but they want to come anyway. So
It's nice.
when there's 4 people handing out bottles of water, they're having a great time. It's just people want to be a part of this day. I think they feel very committed to the work that we're doing and supporting the organizations. And
We have a
it
great
works out.
tournament director too, who makes it look really effortless. I don't know.
I don't
She
know about
doesn't
that.
stress about anything. I think it's pretty.
I
You're
think
pretty even keel.
You
Which
just
is,
can't sense my stress over text. That's all.
That's okay. Whatever works.
We always start our planning for this tournament in about March, and this March Beth was very busy running and then winning her race for selectmen. So
That's right.
we are all multitasking as
We
we're
certainly
working
are.
on this, and Melissa is also a very busy woman herself. So I'm grateful for all of you for all the work that you do, both to pull the tournament off, the work that you all do to support the community, and the work that you both do to support
Yeah.
St. Anne's and Westbrook Food Pantry. And very grateful for this beautiful weather again today.
Again,
We're very
it's a
lucky,
great day.
very lucky. But we're going to be headed down to the course shortly, and hopefully we'll get to see some folks down there having a great golf game, and they won't tell us even if they aren't. Today is also the day of the eclipse. So we are believing that we will probably have a lot of golfers who are using the eclipse as an excuse later this afternoon when they don't have the best golf game ever. But thank you all for being a part of this today, and we look forward to doing it all again next year.
Yay.
Thank you very
ladies.
much.
All right, I am down here on the course at the beautiful Haven. Gorgeous day with a nice breeze out here, and I'm joined by a couple of great guys in town. Chris Mana, our town moderator and a founding board member to the precursor Shrewsbury Youth and Family Services. Henry Fitzgerald, who just recently retired as a selectman in town, and Patrick Pitney, who's the new chairman of the Finance Committee, of which I get great joy in spending time with you doing that together. So how's it going out there so far today?
We're having a great day. We're not quite close to breaking the course record, but having a great time with 3 good friends.
Now, are you going to be taking advantage of the eclipse to alter your scorecards in any way as the...
We absolutely are. Chris is kind enough to bring some special glasses
So you're set.
so that we can watch the eclipse and not hurt our eyes. And it's probably better if we use them for the rest of the round, because the way we've been hitting them, it's really not going to make a much difference as time goes on.
I agree with Henry. The course is definitely winning today, but we're having a great time and it's a wonderful event. So
That's great. I'm glad that you guys could be here. It's, as you know, very intimately, these 3 charities rely on the funds that we raise during this fun golf tournament for us to make a critical difference in the work that they can do. I am here with several of my colleagues from the Shrewsbury Youth and Family Services Board. Mike Gregory, our board chair, Tom Kennedy, Joe Palumba, Mike Rooney, our treasurer, and Melissa Pride-Foz, who is also a member of the host committee here and working on the tournament. And I just wanted to ask you guys how it's going today. What's it like out there?
Oh, weather is fine. The company is great. The cause is even greater.
Oh, what a poetic statement.
Not a word about the golf.
I always love, you guys come every year, which I love, and I especially love the hat choice that our chair made this year.
That's right.
As opposed to this gentleman who's reliving the glory days of the Beaton Charity Classic.
There's nothing wrong with being vintage.
Vintage.
That's the new word, Hannah.
That is a good word for you, Mike. Vintage. That
well
I like
said.
that.
Well said.
is, no, you're vintage because you guys have all been here every year, and I really, really appreciate it. And, you know, we all, again, serve on the Shrewsbury Youth and Family Services Board, so we know the importance of raising dollars outside of, through fundraising efforts, and certainly the gala is our biggest fundraising effort of the year, and Melissa is going to be chairing that this year. But this is also an important opportunity to add dollars to our bottom line. So
Well, we're very grateful, Hannah, to you and all the members of the committee, host committee, and the sponsors for helping put this on, and it makes a huge difference for our agency. It really does.
Well, the best part of it is so easy to do this tournament because people in our community want to step up and give. The sponsors readily join us. We're always sold out for golfers, and fortunately we've had the last 6 years beautiful days like the one we've had today, so people want to come back and enjoy it. But I want to thank all of you for all the hours and the time that you put into being board members and almost everyone at all these agencies is in a volunteer effort. The Westboro Food Pantry, all volunteer boards, St. Anne's Human Services, what Elaine LeBlanc and Joanne Keegan do there in terms of volunteer stuff. So there's a lot of volunteers today making this day pull off, but there's also a lot of volunteers all year long making sure that the people in our community who in a time of need a place to turn to, that we're able to work with them. The only reason that we're able to pull off this golf tournament is because we have so many volunteers that help us do it. And I'm actually here with not only 2 volunteers and 2 members of the host committee, but also one of our junior volunteers today who has been in charge of testing all the food. Right, Liam? Yeah. The folks that are here with me are 2 ladies that are dear friends and great volunteers for our communities. We have Gail Vigent from Shrewsbury, who is a commissioner on the Housing Authority, a member of the host committee, and a volunteer extraordinaire.
Volunteer extraordinaire, yes.
And we have Maureen Johnson, who is a board member of the Westboro Education Foundation, which is also one of the beneficiaries of the Hannah Kane Charity Classic over the years. We give $1,000 to both the Shrewsbury Education Foundation and the Westboro Education Foundation.
Thank you.
And so I'm really grateful for all the work that you have both done as members of the host committee. How are you finding it out here today?
It's a beautiful day. Everybody seems to be having a great time, and it's just fun to be a part of this great event.
There's a good mix of folks out here. So there's some new people that you get to meet, and then there's faces that are very familiar to all of us. Gail, you volunteer, you do so much in our community, and you hate to be on screen, which is specifically why I wanted to put you on screen. And all of your housing authority meetings are taped, aren't they? So you can't say that you're not on camera.
And I always hope that they haven't got the camera trained on me.
Well, you've been a part of this for many, many years, and you're actually part of everything that we do here in Shrewsbury.
Yes.
So I want to thank you. And your husband, Steve, is out golfing today.
Yes, enjoying himself. It's a beautiful day today. I remember last year we were dying with the
It's
heat
hot.
and humidity, so this is just a perfect day. And it's just such a great cause. I'm very happy to be a part of it.
Oh, I'm thankful. Liam, what do you think about today?
The weather's a lot nicer than last year.
That's right.
And the food's good as always.
That's good. Well, I really appreciate having you here. My daughter Madison is out driving people around for where they need to go, so it's great to have some of our junior host committee members here.
Training them for
Exactly.
future years.
We are here at is this the 13th hole, right?
Yep,
13th hole.
Lucky 13.
More commonly known as the swindle hole at this golf tournament, and that is because I'm here with the chief swindler,
Oh, yeah.
Ronnie Ritelli, and his swindle partner extraordinaire, assistant swindler, excuse me, Tom Gorsuch. And you guys have been doing this, Ronnie, since the beginning of time. How many years now, Ronnie?
18.
Wow. And Tom has been doing it for the last 6 years since we started with the Matt Beaton Charity Classic and now my tournament. So tell me how it works, guys. What is the approach that you take with the folks that come up over the ridge not expecting to be swindled?
Well, because of my kind of personality, Hannah, I kind of give them a very welcoming hello, Hawaii, and welcome to the course and everything. And then we kind of ask them just very gently if they would like to give us $5.
Yep.
And then if they don't, well, then they will donate $5. So win, lose, or draw. And if they get it on the green, then they say $5, then they get another 5, so they get 10.
Okay.
Or if it's 10 or if it's 20. But most of the time, the people that do get it on, which has been very few for say today, we've only had 11.
Wow.
Which is kind of, the odds have been good for, the tournament here. And they give it back to the charity anyway, or they buy raffle tickets.
That's great. And
So-
you guys usually bring in about $1,000 out here for the charities.
Yeah,
we do.
Being
We
out
try.
on
We
the
try.
swindle hole. And I think you guys have a good time out here. Tell me about what it's like to be out on this hole for the day.
It's great to hang with Ronnie. It's always a good day, and it's good to see everyone that comes out and is part of your tournament here, and it's all for good causes, so it's always a good day.
It's a lot of fun, and I enjoy coming to see you guys over here. And there's always stories coming through, and by the time they hit the barbecue, about how much money they lost over here. But
That's the goal.
I think that this is part of what makes this tournament such a fun day.
It is,
I know
yeah,
that
true.
we don't do too many of the different contests out there, and this was one that we always wanted to do because it's really the nature of this tournament. It's meant to be fun and conversational and having a good time together, and you guys really make the most of that.